Alright, welcome to the Scores and Thoughts. The only place where if the owner doesn't get traded, he's not going to retire. Yes, before I start, just let me make a quick point here about Carson Palmer claiming he's going to retire if the Bengals don't grant him a trade request, which, by the way, they denied that request today. That just shows you how little Carson Palmer cares about football, and I feel sorry for the Bengals having to deal with that sorry ass. He's a decent quarterback on a bad team. I'm actually starting to think that he isn't a good quarterback at all, to be honest with you. I originally thought he was a good quarterback on a bad team, but now I'm starting to think, okay, maybe he just sucks too much, and he just wants to get out of football as quickly as possible. Like, who is it, Paul Coffey? That 49ers running back that retired like 2 seasons into his career. Yeah. Basically, Carson Palmer's pulling a Ricky Williams again. And we all know what happened with Ricky. Ricky actually came back, but still, he's pulling a Ricky Williams and calling it quits, which early in his career, which shows that he really doesn't care about football. And I really do feel sorry for him having to deal with that shit. But hey, good luck in the next life there in terms of football, Carson. Anyway, let's get to the matchups here. The Super Bowl is set. So, first game. Green Bay Packers beat the Chicago Bears 21-14. Part of me wanted to see the Bears win this because I wanted to say I have a bunch of people that are Bears fans. Moppy, a couple real life friends that I know are Bears fans. But part of me also wanted to see the Packers win because Devin Hester's in the Pro Bowl. And I wanted to see Devin Hester return kicks in the Pro Bowl for touchdowns if the AFC isn't dumb or isn't smart enough to punt away from him. I wanted to see him return some stuff for touchdowns, but that didn't happen. Well, actually, never mind. You get my point. I wanted to see Devin Hester go crazy in the Pro Bowl and do some good shit in there. But it was a very good game. It was a very close game. Well, at the end of it, it was. The Packers jumped out on the Bears early. Aaron Rodgers, there was one true monster of the Midway, and it was Aaron Rodgers. He did fantastic in that game. And Jay Cutler basically quit on his team. He injured his knee in the second quarter and didn't come back in. He didn't tap his coach. He didn't tap his coach on the shoulder and say, hey, let me back in the game. Which he probably should have. But then again, Caleb Haney stepped in after Todd Collins went 0 for 2 with both of his passes almost getting picked off. And, let's see what else. Yeah, both of his passes almost getting picked off. And they went to Caleb Haney, the third quarterback. And Caleb Haney actually did better than Jay Cutler and Todd Collins combined. I'm really starting to question whether or not Jay Cutler actually is going to be a good quarterback. He had so much promise at Vanderbilt coming out, first round pick, did a very good job in Denver. Then he got traded to Chicago and he sucked ass. He was actually decent this year, but now in the postseason, the Bears had the easiest road to the conference championships. They had a bye in the first round, and they faced the lowly Seahawks, who shocked the defending Super Bowl champs, but didn't go any further. If you ask me, the Bears, they were going to give the Packers a good game, but in all honesty, I didn't think the Packers were going to have too much trouble. Because the Bears had an easy road to the conference championship. But let's be honest. First round bye, and they had to just beat the lowly Seahawks. And they almost choked that up too. Let's be honest. They gave up a couple touchdowns late in that game. But Caleb Haney actually made some good throws. He threw a couple picks, but still, he actually made some good throws. And actually did a decent job. Now we're gonna have to see whether or not if what the Bears are gonna do with Jay Cutler. I'm not sure because Jay Cutler essentially quit on his team, like Carson Palmer is gonna quit on his team. But anyways, good win for the Packers. And now Steelers beat the Jets 24-19. This one was another close game, but it really wasn't close in the first half. The Pittsburgh Steelers jumped out 24-0. But they gave up 19 points at the end. They almost didn't win the game, but all they needed to do was get a couple first downs, and they did so. And I think Ben Roethlisberger is one of the best quarterbacks in football, but he never gets the recognition he deserves. And the reason for that is very simple. He doesn't have pretty wins. He doesn't have, just beautiful-looking wins, if you will. He doesn't have those easy, free-flowing wins, those easy touchdowns or whatever. What he does is different from everybody else. What he does is he scrambles around like a Michael Vick, throws the ball on the run, he runs around in the pocket, he gets away from pressure, he takes off and runs for 12 or 13 yards at scramble, sometimes more, depending on the situation. He deals with broken noses, but he doesn't get mentioned in the same breath as Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, despite the fact that he's won more Super Bowls than Peyton Manning. He's won 2 in his actually kind of short career, because he was a 2004 first-round draft pick. And let's see, where did he go? Let's see, how many years has he been in the league now? This would be what, his 6th year in the league? 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. So it would be his 7th year in the league. Still, 7 years in the league, and he's won 2 Super Bowls. Peyton Manning, he has been in the league since '98. So he's been 2001, 2001, 2002, 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's been in the league 13 years and he's won 1 Super Bowl. But then again, he's put up all the stats, so I can understand why Peyton Manning is actually considered better than Ben Roethlisberger. But still, Ben Roethlisberger's won 2 Super Bowls in his career. And he's been in the league for 7 years. This is his 7th year. And he's now going to be in his 3rd Super Bowl. So, I don't know. I really do think that Ben Roethlisberger deserves a little bit more credit, but you never know. I don't know if he'll get the credit. He may get it eventually, but we'll see. But it's a very good game. All right, now that's it for the scores and thoughts. Let's go. We're gonna preview the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl. I'm actually going to do a review of the Pro Bowl next week, if I get around to it. If I don't get around to it, then, well, you won't get a video next week. But here's the Super Bowl matchup. Steelers-Packers. I will do my preview after the Pro Bowl next week. I will do my preview after the Pro Bowl. My prediction of the Super Bowl will happen after the Pro Bowl. Give me a little bit of time to mull it over, because I've got a pretty good indication of what I'm going to do with this prediction, but I'm not actually sure yet. So that's it. Holla at your boy. See you all in a week's time after the Pro Bowl, and then see you all at the Super Bowl.